tough. You know, only one team gets to feel good at the end of their season. And this year we weren't that team. And it really, really hurts. And I think it'll continue to hurt for days, weeks, months from now. But at the same time, like, really proud of the group.
You can't just want to be a part of it when you're on top and enjoying a parade and popping champagne bottles. Like, you have to be able to continue to commit and want to be the best for this organization. And, you know, I'm excited for next year.
I think the biggest thing for me is to remember this moment. This is not a 1 year and done type situation with what we're building here. This has been multiple years in the making. And last year we got it done. But it's these moments of pain for everything that we collectively have gone through as a staff, coaches, players, everybody. This is our fuel. The biggest misconception about a WNBA offseason is that we have an offseason. For us, it's always evaluating our processes during the season. It could be analytically, scouting-wise, our overseas plans, you name it. We're always taking inventory of where we're at within our process. And then after the season, we're trying to figure out how could we become more efficient in our overall operation? Do we need to go out and hire more people, different people? What are we learning about our roster during the season and the style of play that we play, also relative to the rest of the WNBA? Are we going after the correct type of players? There's a lot to evaluate, but that's really exciting because for us, we want to be the best organization in sports. And in order to do that, you have to be really honest about where you're at, but also have a plan to move forward to take it to that level.
Just immediate thoughts, and obviously we'll go back and process. I'll put transcripts together and send them out to you guys and make sure we go over them again. But anything else you want to cover?
The first question I ask myself is, where are we? And then it's, are we the best? That's the first question, is where are we? Where are we relative to the rest of the teams and organizations within the WNBA? And then you build out from there. Do we need to get our players better top to bottom? So that's a lens that we're really looking to explore when it goes into a search.
How do you think the players that we had on this roster would react initially and then long term over the course of a long season to these three?
We're a growth-minded organization. We're really proud of that. Before this process, there are many members of our organization that had never been in a coaching interview process before. They've never been in those rooms before. They can't say that again because they have. So it starts off with myself and Epiphany Prince. We handle the first interview. Piff looks at things through a lens of not only herself as a player and as a former player, of how she would feel about them, but she also knows the players on our roster so well that she's able to anticipate some red, yellow, or green flags and as it relates to the candidates and how they would do in front of our current group.
I think my experience as a former player can help him a lot because I'm giving them my perspective as a player. So I try to ask myself, like, how would I feel in this situation? And so those are the questions I ask them to see how they would respond to different situations that players go through.
I think it's more so with a player's maturity level. Like, you can tell a player, like, you're out there rotation, but be ready. But if they're mature enough, they'll still do what they have to do and be a pro. But if they're not as mature, I can see it like them not being ready, not doing everything that they were supposed to do to be ready.
Right. We lean heavily on Andrew Wade, Parker Lovett, and Dustin Gray for our film review and our tactical sessions. Piff is also a member of those meetings as well, but really digging into the on-court style that the coaches want to have. Kia Clark is mightily involved as well. It's really important that there's a strong connection from business to basketball.
My role in this coaching search is actually to meet with each of the candidates. So I've been spending upwards of 2 hours with everyone who's come to the table and really getting a chance to get to know them, ask as many questions as I'd like. A little bit of my questioning is about the basketball, but most of it is actually focused on their impact and how they see themselves and how I would see them fitting into the aggregate organization, from a business standpoint, from a community standpoint, from a legacy standpoint.
And eventually, once we get this list whittled down, ownership makes the ultimate call on who they want to be the next head coach of the New York Liberty.
Intentionality with the one-on-one meetings, which I just mentioned, that's going to continue throughout the season, right? It's not just open door, come in no, I'm going to sit in front of you and we're going to talk.
Yep.
I think that would go a long way. This is my first time really being in the weeds of a head coaching search. So I'm really kind of gaining a sense of, what is this coach's philosophies, what's important to them, and where do they see the direction of the New York Liberty going?
How do we take the burden of handling pressure off of her? We, let other people handle it. So there was some awareness with roster stuff.
Obviously been with Jonathan for a long time now, so working side by side, getting to see his expertise and feeling like he does have the trust and I'm empowered to go out and, do what I'm supposed to do, which is canvas and really identify talent and evaluate that talent and then bring it back to him, and it goes a long way.
I would have liked to see some other options or just even plan Bs. It's hey, I do believe in the switching, but here's some other areas that we could use.
Sure.
But I think the concerns you guys raise are valid. I started in 2023 as a basketball operations coordinator, and since then I've worked my way up into a hybrid role between the coaching and the front office side. I'm heavily involved in the scouting side of things. I'm incredibly grateful for Jonathan's trust. Some of my job is to just try to, as best I can, think for him and try to anticipate what he might need. I've been really impressed with our group's thoroughness and kind of ability to drill down on different things that we would look for in a candidate.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep on keeping on. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Yeah.
In terms of identifying candidates, we're 100% there. In terms of speaking to those candidates, we're 20% there. And we're looking to have this done sooner than later, but also as long as it takes to find the right leader. We're tremendously excited about who we're speaking to.
We really appreciate your time. We ran out of time on our last session on one film segment, and honestly, I think you'll probably have a lot of fun with it. So with it, I'll turn it over to Dustin. We'll kind of go through the breakdown on how this is set up.
We're going to jump in with about 4 minutes left in the game, 3:51 left in the game. You've got 3 timeouts remaining and a reset. You can treat it as you would a normal game. So any timeout, stoppage of play, substitutions, you want to get on the board, you want to talk through stuff that any adjustments, any tactical stuff that you want to do.
The players would understand, right? We're not going to run 5-2-1 flat in the second quarter or our V options, right, in the third quarter. My specific role inside the coaching search is to present game situations and basically hear the candidates talk through and kind of explain their coaching philosophies in real time. And so we're presenting them with a handful of situations, either things for us to fix and clean up, or essentially highlight our players' strengths. And so, again, really just like to hear the candidates talk through what they're seeing on the floor and see how that fits our roster and personnel.
What are those conversations like with those players where one's kind of somewhat on ice for a series, but might be really important that next one? What does that look like?
Is there any concern about getting that shot off too quickly? Yeah, I think trying to go out and really cast a wide net and try to get as many people as we can that have a ton of great experience, that have coached at a really high level, that have a lot of tools in their toolbox, and that we can kind of start to sift through different ideas and see what works best for us going forward.
Identifying the weakest defender, what is that based on? Is it data? Is it over the course of the series? Is it a bit of both? What are you looking at to identify that stuff?
Really want to be analytically minded and focused. It doesn't mean it's the end-all be-all, but it is leaning into sports science, leaning into structure, and leaning into knowing where our shots are coming from and why. And so these are all areas that we're looking for as we embark on a really important coaching search.
We, again, appreciate the time. You guys have anything else before we close out?
No, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think if anything was more in depth.
Unbelievable. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're enjoying it, too.
No, it's great.
It's really good.
Ton of good stuff.
These are also massive opportunities for us to learn about ourselves from the outside, from other people that have watched us under a microscope, to hear their feedback of our roster, our organization, our operation, our processes. This is a period of time where we want to take inventory of all of that as well to continue to get better at every single thing we do. I'm really excited for what the future holds.
Currently, right now, I am immersed in Turkey. I've been here for almost a month now. I've been enjoying my time here. This is my first time playing Immersing, but I've been playing in Turkey for 3 years now. I played in Kayseri, I played in Ankara, so now I'm here Immersing.
Practice was good. It was intense before a game tomorrow, but I feel like we're prepared for it. There's my dog. When I was in France, bruh, we my dog.
I think somebody like Kennedy Burke, KB, going over to Immersing, that's what she signed up for, right? That team needs her as soon as our season ends and she goes out there and competes. But KB also knows, like, she wants to continue to get better as a player, and so that's where she's putting her priorities right now.
Everything here is real. Nothing processed. Right here.
There they go.
I be grabbing 4 of these mofos. Look at this. She probably like, dang, all this chocolate?
No.
The reason I choose to play overseas is because I get to travel the world. I get to go to places I've never been before, and like when I'm playing overseas, I get to showcase more of my talent. I get to see a lot of other talents that are out there in this world. But yeah, I think the most part is I get to continue to play and continue to grow as a player, but also as a person as well, you know. The important thing is just making sure that I'm growing in my game, and then when I come back to the W each year, like there's a progress in my game.
Drives the baseline, rejected, Kennedy Burke. Kennedy Burke drives the baseline, dumps it inside, mismatch there in the finish. Kennedy Burke and one. Stolen away, Burke again, quick hand, she'll lead the charge down the floor. Oh, that is a smooth move from Kennedy Burke. Down low, Kennedy Burke using the footwork to perfection, spins her way through to the bucket. Burke for three. Everything Kennedy Burke touches tonight is turning to gold. Nigel Solder, beautiful pass. Burke with the finish. Burke for three. Oh, big time play by a big time player, Kennedy Burke. That is a big time to step up for Kennedy Burke.
Everyone's different. Like some people want to stay home. I would have loved to stay home, but like I said, I love to play. I want to get better. My dad grew up in Panama. He played basketball kind of throughout his life. He played professional in Mexico and Panama, but didn't really get the chance to play in the NBA. But yeah, he's one of the main reasons why I play basketball. So. Okay, bye. This place called Sok. They it's not like a grocery store, but it's like a 7-Eleven, you know? So like whatever you need, they got it, you know? Turkey is actually very beautiful. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. Every now and then, I'll probably walk around the city. Every time I get a chance to just walk around a little bit, if it's just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just get out in the air, you know, just to kind of rejuvenate and reset my mind, because sometimes life gets tough and it gets tiring sometimes. Look at this little car. One person. I haven't been in this one So I'm gonna see what they got, okay? Some American stuff they have. Every now and then I will want someone with me, like a teammate, but in life, you gotta learn to do things yourself. And you know me, I love being by myself anyway, so.
So where we at now?
Boston drinking dessert. I got the pancake fondue with bananas and strawberries. See, some people are friendly out here. Like, they'll wave and smile, but then sometimes you get the other people are like, you gotta get that. Practice facility. This is the coach's office, right there. So we got a film room that's straight over here. Film room.
We always want to keep in mind that whatever we do, like, we want to be better for the future of the WNBA. We always want to be better than the year before. No matter what, I'm just going to keep grinding, getting better every year, every day.
I don't think there's any way to put like a one-size-fits-all on a player's off season. I think it's to start like whatever they need, right? But I don't think that there's any one way to have an off season. I think each player is entitled to the journey that they want to embark on.
Welcome to A Touch More Live at Tech Futures 2025. We've got a packed show, so we're just going to get right to it. You're kind of like a New York City kid. I know you're Philly till you die, but you're kind of a New York City kid.
I feel like a real New Yorker lately. Like the last 2 weeks here, been going, doing my local grocery shopping, going and finding butcher shops, coffee shops, all the things I'm doing. I'm loving it. For now, we've really just been enjoying New York. Brooklyn is where we stay. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? To land somewhere that is as top tier as New York and the elite level and expectation, that is what, like, for me as a player, I was thriving for again and salivating for. I wanted to be somewhere where there was structure and intentionality and all the things that I needed to really just play basketball, and I found that here in New York. We didn't have the season we necessarily wanted to have this year. Obviously, we wanted to run it back and have them repeat, and that wasn't on the table for us, but it makes us that hungrier for this offseason to be 1% better coming back next season. It just lights a fire under your ass.
Tosh, we were so excited to have you.
Thank y'all so much. I love that. Thank you.
Tosh, who's out being in New York, really immersing herself in that, I think that's awesome. I think that's important. You know, mentally throughout a season, it could be pretty heavy at times, right? So to start an off season, I could argue it makes a ton of sense to get away if you can.
What's up, Liberty fans? You already know what it is. It's Tasha. We're here at Pier 17 at the Tech Summit. It was amazing. Megan Sue were amazing per usual. I hope y'all have tuned in. I miss y'all bad. And it's still Liberty, bitch.
Today we are here doing our Lupus Foundation of America walk. We're just here supporting all the survivors, the warriors, lupus warriors, and just people that's been affected by autoimmune illnesses. And I'm showing my support for my family as well, for my late sister Danielle, and then Daniel and Diane battling lupus. What's up, baby? I got my little doggies back here.
My mom
Thank
has
you.
lupus, so I'm walking in with her.
Oh, bless her. Girl, if I could change right now, I would. I'm just so happy to be here and represent with you guys. I love this family. I love being here, and I'm just so happy to see everyone here. So thank y'all for coming out. So thank you for having this and having me here.
The fact that Tosh and Izzy are here in New York is even more special because of the human beings that they are. They not only show up to community events, but they show up in a major way. It's authentic. They have a touch point with people in the community, with kids, with adults alike, and you know that it comes from the heart.
3, 2, 1. Shout out to the Liberty for always showing support for me, for my family, just for my LFA family. You guys are great, and I hope to see you guys next year.
I welcome you to Villa Lawaro, where we are celebrating Essence Black Women in Business.
Perfect backdrop. Perfect, thank you so much.
If people don't know who Michelle G is, shame on them. I'm a little girl from Oakland, California, got a great three-pointer, but today in my current role, I'm the Chief Content Officer, and what that means is that I'm responsible for creating the narrative for this amazing brand we call Essence that serves 100 million women across the globe on a monthly basis. So Madam C.J. Walker, we held our Black Women in Business 2025 event there. We wanted to create an environment that breeds success. The criteria, for CEO of the Year has to not only be somebody who's a visionary who's growing their business, but it also has to be someone who's authentic to their cause and communities. And I think finally, somebody that's committed to their employee base and the people that work for them every single day, right? Because you can drive the business and you can be successful on that front, but to really be intentional about everybody around you, that to me is true success. Cherie Nicole Welton, she is my phenomenal face of Black women in sports. She said, what about Kia Clark? I was like, hell yeah.
Our chairman is very particular. And when we said Kia Clark CEO of the Year, it was a unanimous yes.
The team of women that Kia has surrounded herself with, just a few that I've met, I'm like, man, like everybody is so passionate. So I think that all of those things have brought together this understanding that they're serving this community that want to root on success, that want to breed success in a way that feels fun, cultural. It's just such an amazing environment that you feel like you're at more than a game, you're at a family event. And that's what I felt as soon as I walked in the door. If y'all haven't gone to a Liberty game, shame on you watching this, because it is an incredible experience.
But this is truly an honor for me to be recognized here today, especially alongside such inspiring honorees. I feel like a baby in here, not by age, just by what you've accomplished and the impact that you've had. So to stand here today as CEO of the Year, which feels crazy, CEO of a WNBA basketball team, it's truly surreal.
So I'm really proud of what she's built in a time when women in sports deserves to have that light, but it's also the women behind the sports that should also have a place in our historical books, and I'm glad that we provided that for Kia.
I have to take a minute to thank the people that I've been blessed to be in my village. First of all, we already shouted out my mother, Linda, who's here, who taught me a lot of things, but taught me the power of prayer and to embrace leadership, even if it felt daunting.
I am so elated. I am so full with joy. I am so grateful to God. And I'm so grateful to my daughter for doing such a great job representing New York Liberty in this way, and Essence Magazine for recognizing her with an award that I would never think in a million years that she would get. But guess what? As a child, I always knew that she would be a part of Black excellence.
As a little girl, I would always try to get the look at my Aunt TJ's copy of Essence before she could. It was one of the first places where I saw women who looked like me, and they were celebrated for power, and they were celebrated for their drive, and I wanted that.
People like Kia, they are the brand of the New York Liberty. In terms of the offseason, I think that's where they can shine the most, right? Her rise within the New York Liberty, and now she's the CEO of it. I don't think you could write anything better to inspire others, you know?
When we think about where we're going, and Essence responsibility on telling the next generation of folks that are coming up the pipeline to be our next leaders, our next influencers, our next entrepreneurs, you have to see a Kia Clark, because she's running a business that is gonna be a huge, huge, huge business, and it's only getting started. And we're gonna look back at this time and flip through that magazine, and we're gonna look at Kia's picture, and we're gonna say, man, I am because she did it. And it is our responsibility to tell that story boldly and proudly for our audience to see.
I appreciate your support. I thank and love all of you. And let's run it back, 2026, 30 years. Thank you so much.
Once this process is complete, I think that success will look like a completed puzzle. I feel that we have just an amazing working relationship between Jonathan and I. When you think business and basketball, his number one is going to be the head coach, right? And that really determines what our next steps are for the 26 season, but also when you look beyond.
Really excited of who can be next and how this team will look in the years to come.
We've become a destination not only for players, but for head coaching candidates. But because we've progressed to a certain point, that's great. But now it's about how can we level up from here? So I'd say that's what's different. We've taken steps forward, but now we want to sprint.